And there we go. Um, yeah, it's a really kind of interesting and cool month ahead. It feels like it's a pretty important month. Not necessarily loud, not necessarily dramatic, but it is kind of the turning point for 2026 as we're ramping into the summer solstice, and then we're on the backside of the mountain. So we've had quite the climb with the Fire Horse energy, and that's all kind of starting to shift right now into something a little bit more internal going on in June. So I don't know about you, but May has felt pretty fast paced and like a lot of stuff coming at me from a lot of different directions. Before we dive in, if you would like to share where you're joining us from, you can put it in the chat. I'm in Croatia, so I think a lot of you know that. But yeah, this is Croatia behind me. It's not a live photo, because it's noisy outside with wind and things like that. So you just get the photo version. But it's amazing here. I've been here for about four 4.5 weeks maybe now. My kids joined me a few days ago, and we're having fun. I'm kind of mostly on vacation, other than being here with you, beautiful people. Marion from Omaha. Oh, so nice to see you, Marion. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you here today. And let's see, I see Aya and Chris is here, Nancy. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I will be recording it. I already started recording. I post it to my YouTube afterwards, so those who are not able to make it today can catch up later. And that being said, let's just kind of jump right into it. I'll just ask everybody, let's come together and bring our energy into alignment. So let's take a nice big deep breath together. Inhale, exhale. Let your shoulders soften. Let your body land. Today, we're going to open the door to what lies ahead energetically for us in the upcoming month. And this space is just really a simple invitation to notice what resonates, what feels true, and what your own inner knowing is already trying to show you. I know we have some very intuitive people on this call, and the truth is, astrology is just a language for energy, and so many of you already pick up on that energetically, and that is perfect. And hopefully, what you get out of this is some confirmation and validation of what's coming through for you already, because I know, at least for me, that always makes me feel more like, yes, even though I trust myself, there's still that bit of like, it's good to have that second voice that tells you, yeah, you're on track. It gives you courage, gives you confidence. So, as I said, May was busy. It was about movement, and movement with direction in particular. We were really trying to find what pathways, what routes are going to work best for us as we move it deeper into the year. And it was all about the fire horse with its great momentum, learning discernment as well, learning not to chase every opening, because we can't do that. It's just exhausting. I don't know about you guys, but I have found myself a little exhausted here and there over the last month. But June is going to take us deeper. It's going to take us more internal. And what June is asking us is, can we actually sustain our own fire? This fire that's coming through for us with the fire horse. In my forecast for 2026, the Phoenix Dawn journey, we are now completing gate 2, which kind of coincides with the end of spring. June 21st is the solstice, going to take us into the summer and the next phase of our journey with the fire horse. And so this phase 2 has been all about finding our new voice, and we're kind of at the culmination of that and starting to maybe have a feel for what that new voice sounds like. Before we get into bigger visibility and expansion energies that are going to be arriving for all of us later this summer, June is that space where we're just asking to become, or we are asked to become, more emotionally congruent with what we have been building so far this year. We're really bringing our emotions into it because we're going to be stepping into Cancer season this month. And Cancer is the sign of the moon, and it's very much about our internal experience and our feelings and our emotions. So let's step into the month together. We'll start with early June, which obviously kicks off tomorrow. Key theme, as I mentioned, is going to be, sorry, my phone is telling me that it's getting low on juice and I'm hotspotting to it. So let me throw it to somebody nearby here. They can plug it in. Hey, Caden, can you put that on the charger for me? Yeah. Thanks. Sorry, my son is on his headphones over here. Okay, so as I said, June is going to be very much about emotions and bringing emotions into alignment with our movement, and early June is all about emotional discernment. So kind of this bridge from that momentum with discernment that we had in May. So the energy is now shifting away from speed and it becomes more oriented towards feeling. The mind is softening its grip on certainty, and that means we're beginning to listen through not just our Gemini mind, the busy analytical mind, but we're beginning to listen through intuition, emotion, and really deep resonance. And it's important to know that because May was moving very quickly, and over the past month, you probably noticed new ideas, new directions, new opportunities, new possibilities, all kinds of things kind of opening up, it felt like. And maybe it felt like it's happening all at once, and it's a little bit hard to manage all the things that are coming in. June's lesson, it's definitely different and it gets there quite immediately. We have the core lesson of June being not everything that expands is aligned. Hi, Melanie, welcome. The first week for us in June is going to carry both clarity but also confusion kind of woven together. You probably feel it maybe like in an intermittent kind of way where things maybe feel really clear and then maybe they don't feel so clear all of a sudden again. So did I mention? I don't think I did. Tomorrow, June 1st, we have Mercury entering the sign of Cancer. So that's what brings us into that Cancer energy. Even though the sun will still be in Gemini, all of those inner planets are kind of lining up and taking their turns to make the leap into the next sign in the zodiac, Cancer. And then later this week, Mercury will trine the North Node. Very supportive transit. Trines are always supportive. So this probably feels like, because Mercury is about our minds, something intuitive is starting to click into place. Mercury is in Cancer, so intuitive knowing. And that might show up in different ways for you. It could show up like a new realization that just sort of comes in all of a sudden. It's like, oh, that looks more clear now. It could be a conversation that you have where, you know, it brings to light something that maybe you didn't see. A lot of times other people's perspective can illuminate our blind spot. It could be just kind of an inner sense of gentle knowing that something is just showing up in a more intuitive and clear kind of way and making a little bit more sense. But then on that same day, Mercury is going to square Neptune. So it's like positive and negative, or high and low, smooth and easy, and then frictiony and tense. So Neptune and Mercury, those two coming together make things feel kind of hazy. So that could look like blurred signals. It could look like rising doubts sometimes, because when the signal gets blurry, sometimes we start to doubt our knowing. And then also, of course, emotions can cloud our perception and can make us feel like there's like an inner conflict, inner tension going on between what we know in our minds and what's happening for us on a deeper level. So June's kind of discernment feels deeper maybe than May, and that's what's kind of different about it. May was all about teaching us that we can't chase every opening that comes our way, but June is teaching us more deeply not to abandon our own inner truth in the search for certainty. It's easy to do that. as humans, we like certainty, but inner truth is where we want to put our focus and our intention and let go of certainty a little bit, because we just can't have that as humans all the time. We're not in control. So for those of you on the call that are sensitives, highly sensitives, for creatives, for healers, the soul-led entrepreneurs in the group, this month is asking you to trust what your body is telling you and allow the certainty to come through you in that way. June's going to ask you to pay attention and tune in to what's happening inside. So what actually nourishes you? What steadies your nervous system? What feels like it's sustainable in an emotional way? Pay attention to those things. It can be really helpful to journal, to get those emotions into a more conscious level of our awareness. And really, it's a beautiful energy in that it's asking us to pay attention to what's lighting us up, what we love, what makes our heart feel good. June 9th to the 14th, that's kind of the second week of the month. This is the heart reopening, opening up more widely, maybe, because Venus is going to meet Jupiter in Cancer. So if you've been outside and looked at the sky, you may have noticed these two are quite close to each other. You can see them both with no telescope or anything. You can see them with your naked eye. Sometimes this is what makes astrology very real for us, is, we can see it's really happening right before our very eyes, truly. So Venus meeting Jupiter, look for these two bright planets. If you haven't seen them, they'll be close to each other above the western horizon. Here in Croatia, I'm noticing them just after dark. I think probably in the US as well, you will see them well at that time of the evening. And as these two planets come together, as they say, the heart is opening wide. So deeper connections are available. There is a renewal of hope, perhaps. We remember how good genuine resonance feels. And then, kind of similar to this current week with this Mercury square Neptune, Mercury at the same time being going into Cancer. With Venus meeting Jupiter, very same day, Mercury squares Saturn. So Mercury is playing tricks on us. There's more tension. By the way, Mercury is the trickster of the zodiac, so it's not unusual for Mercury to play tricks. So this beautiful heart-opening energy is also asking us for a level of refinement. And so along with noticing like what brings you nourishment and what feels really good, you might also begin noticing where you're overextending or where you're still seeking external permission or where you're performing instead of just simply being honest and being yourself. June 12th, Venus is going to square Chiron. It's at the very final degree of Aries, so 29 degrees Aries. That final degree of any sign is always a powerful sign and brings extra oomph, let's say, to happenings at that point, because it's a sensitive point in the chart. Venus square Chiron might bring in some old discomfort for you around being seen, around taking up space, around trusting yourself, maybe also moving before you're fully feeling ready, like feeling forced to move when you're not fully online with it emotionally. It's also an invitation whenever there's discomfort. It's really the cleaner way to look at it is it's an invitation that's coming through for you and asking for your attention. So the invitation here is you don't need to become fearless before moving forward. Sometimes we have to make the leap when it still feels a little bit scary. I don't know about scary, but I will say uncomfortable. Last night I did this amazing sauna event here, and we were cold plunging after the sauna time. And yeah, I can relate to that moment of like hesitation, just having to move forward into that cold water anyways. So you could think of it that way too. So we need to become honest, more honest with ourselves. And by mid-month, there is a rather dramatic energy shift that will be happening June 13th. Venus goes into Leo, so it's out there ahead. That's why we can see it, by the way, on the horizon or above the horizon at sunset right now or after sunset. It's because Venus is quite a ways ahead of the sun. And it's going to be entering the sign of Leo, the first of the inner planets to get into Leo. Leo's a fire sign, so Venus going there is fire is returning. It's a different kind of fire than what we were feeling earlier with Aries energy. Leo fire is warmer, it's more creative, it's more personal, it's more heart connected. And on the right on the heels of that, the new moon in Gemini will be on June 14th. Back to that May idea of Gemini is the sign of communication. But this moon is going to open up a new conversational pathway. So there's still new stuff out there that is going to click in for you in the next couple of weeks. New ideas emerging, new connections forming, and even a different version of your voice beginning to take shape. So, yeah, if that sounds like a little bit like May, yep, you're right, because Gemini hasn't gone away. But unlike that fast acceleration that we've been feeling over the past month, June is going to be asking us to move with these new ideas that are less reactive, more resonant, less performance, more embodiment, because we're again in the heart space. This is the final chamber of the gate 2 in the Phoenix Dawn journey. So that means our messenger has awakened, our voice has begun to rise. And now the soul has one more final question for you before the Phoenix enters those brighter skies of gate 3. Can your fire be sustained by your heart? That takes us to June 19th to 21st. Pretty tight little window there with some big motion, big movement going on in the sky. Chiron is going to go into the sign of Taurus on June 19th. Chiron's a pretty slow mover, so it's been in Aries for a number of years, and so its movement is more momentous than those little planets like Venus and Mercury changing signs. This is honestly one of the bigger energetic shifts of the year. Chiron's going to be in Taurus for the next 8 years. And that brings us into a whole new healing cycle around worthiness, around security, around embodiment, self-trust, and nervous system safety. It puts us into healing in the Taurus territory. It's going to be moving your relationship with enoughness. So if you're one of those people like me who has a tendency to go to I'm not enough, then this is your opportunity to feel more enoughness. Powerful because many of us have been conditioned to believe that our values come from achievement, from productivity, performance, from proving ourselves. And Chiron in Taurus is going to be asking us, what if our value is not something that we have to prove, but it's something that we learn to inhabit? I like that a lot. Learning to inhabit our value. Then on June 20th, Uranus is going to square the nodes. Uranus is that electric planet, so this energy does feel just that electric, unstable, exciting, overwhelming, sudden realizations arriving, timelines maybe feel like they're shifting, old assumptions are loosening up. Many of you, all my intuitives, you may feel this surge, like the future is changing shape very rapidly, quickly. Right now, it's happening. Then we have the summer solstice. So those 3 days really are, jam-packed, 19th, 20th, 21st. Summer solstice, June 21st, that's when the sun enters Cancer. And of course, it's our longest day of the year. And sometimes we think of it, well, I mean, it literally is the kickoff to summer in that it is when the season changes. So it can have that feeling of like charging forward into summer. But this year, it's a little deeper than that. And it's more like asking for a little bit of a sacred pause at the threshold, if you will, a kind of remembering. So mark your calendar because it would be a really good day to just take a quiet pause, spend some time in reflection, because as soon as the sun enters Cancer, it's going to be making a sextile with Chiron that just went into Taurus. And it's going to bring deeper illumination to the lesson of the whole entire month of June. Before your next expansion begins, what do you need to reconnect with in order to truly sustain yourself emotionally, spiritually, creatively, energetically? So, if you make that space for yourself on the summer solstice, you may really get some beautiful insights there within that realm of what is truly sustainable for you. So, this is where the Phoenix pauses between water and fire, Cancer and Leo, between emotional truth and emerging power. And there is perhaps this realization that June is bringing in the fire horse's true goal, which is not endless momentum and racing, but it's really coherence, really heart coherence. And end of June is really going to bring us to the threshold of the next chapter, where we're going to step into gate 3 of the Phoenix Dawn. It's really approaching by that end of June final week. We feel energy beginning to build again. June 27th, Mars, which is the planet of action, is going to sextile Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. And sextiles are good. Sextiles feel positively charged, they charge us up. Powerful momentum returning, confidence building. You can feel the next chapter that you're moving into. This is when Mars will enter Gemini as well on June 28th. So this is even more like the pace is quickening because Gemini is that fast moving air energy, and Mars in that sign is like the fire horse shifting into full gallop. So, race is on. And that might feel a little bit like hyperdrive as ideas multiply and conversations accelerate. Again, movement just increasing. But before the summer really meets its full expansion peak, we do have one final recalibration. Everybody's favorite, on June 29th, Mercury is going to go retrograde for the second time this year. So this time, Mercury will be stationing retrograde in Cancer, and the full moon on the 29th of June rises in Cancer, and Jupiter enters Leo. So June 29th, another really big day, very busy, lots going on. And it's really not a clean launch point because of Mercury going into retrograde. Again, it's more of a threshold moment where you kind of hang there for a second. The spotlight is beginning to return. The creative fire is reigniting. Leadership energy is awakening. But the Phoenix, before stretching its wings into that greater visibility and expression, has Mercury retrograde to remind us, before you step fully out onto the stage, make sure you remember who you are beneath the performance and bring your whole self into it. Remember what actually matters, what nourishes your spirit. Remember the version of success that your soul is truly asking for. So we can get ahead of ourselves very easily with this fire horse energy. Mercury is going to be in retrograde from June 29th to July 23rd. It's very important preparation for very powerful Lionsgate portal that we have this year in August. I will talk more about that in a future forecast. But Leo is going to be asking us to hold more visibility, more power, more expansion. So think of Mercury retrograde as that space to get ready for what's coming ahead. June is where we learn how to hold ourselves first. Very, very important. So if we zoom out and we look at the whole month all together, June is not asking us, how fast can you move? It's asking, can your expansion stay emotionally aligned as the pace of your life begins to increase yet again? Can your nervous system sustain what you're building? Can your body stay connected to your truth? Can your visibility remain human, authentic, and emotionally congruent? So this completes gate 2 in the Phoenix Dawn journey. If you've been following me, and I know most of you have, your voice has awakened, your heart is becoming the compass, and the fire horse is learning its deeper wisdom now. Not every opportunity is meant to be pursued. Not every expansion is meant to happen immediately. And most importantly, if you don't remember anything else, no path forward is meant to cost you yourself. Make sure to bring yourself forward with you wherever your path is taking you. So we're going to do, it's a little, we may run a couple minutes over, but we should be pretty close. So we're going to do a little guided visualization. This is where you can really bring it deeper into embodiment for yourself, take it from the head experience that we just had, bring it into your soul level. So I will invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath in and release it. And now imagine yourself standing at the shoreline at twilight. Behind you, all the movement of the past several months. The experimentation, the searching, the changing terrain. Out up ahead of you, beautiful new horizon is beginning to glow. Beside you stands the phoenix. It's not flying yet. It's not in a rush. It's simply present. Its wings are shimmering with both fire and light. But its feet are grounded at the water's edge. Just take a moment to feel what that means. Power without urgency, movement without force, expansion without abandoning yourself. Ask yourself gently, what truly sustains me now? What am I ready to move toward? And what no longer fits the person that I'm becoming? Allow the questions to settle into you. There's no need to force answers. Just feel the steadiness beneath the becoming. The warmth of that phoenix beside you. And when you're ready, take a breath and return. Before we move into our card pull this morning, I want to speak directly to all the soul-led creators and entrepreneurs, healers, and leaders in the room. That's pretty much all of you. Because June carries a very important message around visibility and leadership for you. The first half of 2026 has been about finding your voice, trying new things, experimenting, putting yourself out there differently, or feeling the pull toward a bigger expression of your work. And that's exactly aligned with the Phoenix Dawn journey. And June is introducing this very important refinement, asking you, can your nervous system actually sustain the life and the visibility that you're trying to build? So allow this month to reveal for you where you're overextending, where you're creating from pressure instead of resonance, where your messaging sounds really polished, but maybe it's no longer fully alive, or where you've drifted away from your own emotional truth in the hustle while you're trying to keep up. It's really, really common right now as a collective. We're moving out of an old paradigm that taught us more output equals more success, constant visibility equals growth, pushing harder equals momentum. I think we've all felt that on some level. But June says authentic authority strengthens through congruence, through alignment between your voice, your body, your emotions, your values, and your actual capacity. So this month, simplify where you need to simplify, create from honesty instead of obligation, prioritize resonance over performance, and allow your audience to connect with the real human, the real you behind your message. Because the visibility and the expansion that are going to be arriving later this summer will require stronger emotional foundations. That push harder energy just isn't going to cut it. It's just not enough. And the beautiful thing is, when your message becomes more emotionally true, it also becomes more magnetic. That's the deeper leadership that June is trying to cultivate for all of us. So I'm going to do a card pull, and the questions we're going to be asking here around this card pull is, what am I trying to sustain right now? What would help me move forward with greater coherence? What part of myself wants to rise next? And I usually use my business astrology card on these cards on this call, but I have different ones. Oh, hold on. I'm going to take my beautifying Zoom features away. So we will say, don't do that. And maybe I'll take that adjust for low lighting off too. Hopefully that'll fix it for us. I'm gonna do that one too. I probably flipped on you guys, so I was mirroring there. Okay. So yeah, this deck, oh God, it's still going away. Oh, because my background. Okay, one more thing. Hold on, sorry. I'm not always using a background, but today I was. Okay, no background. There you go. You can see it's a lot more boring. Well, it's kind of cool. I actually have kind of a cool, kind of very watery for upcoming Cancer season here. Image behind me. Okay, yeah, look, hey, now we can see it. Okay, so this is my Sacred Sea Oracle deck. This is the one I brought with me to Croatia, and I actually do really love this deck, and you know, it's fitting since I'm here in Croatia. Okay, so let's see what this deck wants to tell us about what we're ready to sustain, what wants to move forward with greater coherence, what part of ourselves wants to rise. And I have dolphin spirit. Ooh, I love dolphins. Yay, I haven't seen any in Croatia. They do have them here, but I haven't seen them so far. Dolphin spirit, activate more bliss. Oh yeah, because that sounds good. That's the kind of coherence that I want. I don't know about you. So let me see what it says on the little booklet here. But activate more bliss almost just feels like enough to me. I'll go with it. Let's see. Has an affirmation for us. I am infusing conscious moments of joy into my daily life. I choose to activate fun and playfulness into my experiences, and I feel more alive and free because I am in control of my own happiness. So, bliss, joy, fun, playfulness, silliness, authentic embodiment. Activate your childlike essence, integrate fun into all you do. I am totally feeling that because I am having so much fun over here in Croatia, and I am already thinking about how do I bring this back into my daily, normal, everyday experience in California and make sure that I am making time for fun. So I think that's really beautiful, and I do believe that absolutely will sustain all of us when we make it more fun. And that's definitely more coherent with who you are and what you're meant for. So I am going to kind of wrap it up here. Just the reminder to summarize again, June is a threshold month. Everything isn't going to necessarily change overnight, but something deeper is beginning to align for us underneath the surface. And you don't need to rush this next chapter. You really want to feel into the congruence with it. Come back to these key points, stay close to what nourishes you, stay honest about what no longer fits. Let your visibility become more human. Let your path become more embodied. Let your heart become the compass. Yes, happy blue moon, Nancy. I love that. Yeah, how cool, right? And, it's a Sagittarius full moon, which is also, I feel, kind of very playful energy. So that fits right in here. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this and you do want to do a little deeper dive with yourself into your soul vision, this could be a great month to do that as you're looking for more coherence, more congruence. Go visit my website, Soul Vision Experience. There is a lovely little guided meditation with some really nice ocean waves that happen to be a California beach, not a Croatia beach, but beautiful. And it's free, so I welcome you to take advantage of it. And before we close, I'll stay on for questions, but I'd love to hear whatever's standing out for you most about June's energetic frequency. What are you feeling drawn to pay attention to in the coming month? Anybody want to share? You can raise your hand, unmute yourself, or feel free to put it in the comments.
I can
Bless
share.
you,
Hi.
Callie.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
right ahead. Go
sure.
right ahead, Marion. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Who wants to share first? Marion.
Oh, I just unmuted myself. You guys go ahead and I will listen.
I'm gonna speak up now and say that what's coming through for me is for June is like balance. And it was great that the fun thing came in because I'm trying to like plan a trip and also like do stuff with my business and so it's trying to, be conscious of bringing the balance into my experience.
Yes, love it. So balance with fun, right? Yeah, thank you for sharing, Nancy. Melanie, did you want to say something?
Just wanted to thank you for your timing. We are just back from vacation, so a time of bliss and joy, and that crash back to the reality
Totally.
started at the airport. So I think the things that are really hitting are your invitation to just continue accelerating the healing. Chiron's a big part of what the human design people say is the stage of life that I'm in. I really feel that invitation to heal.
Beautiful.
What was interesting was yesterday I was expressing anger and the person says you're so calm. So I think I have to remember to hold that calmness during this upcoming period that you're talking about in June,
Mhm.
to even if the emotions are strong, make sure that they're shared gently in an inside voice.
Yes.
And I'm gonna find the time to book a session with you later in June. But
Woohoo! I love that, Melanie.
Callie, I just have to thank you for the grace of Callie, for your
Oh,
timing and for your posts. So you safe travels, beautiful, and thank you for all you're doing to kind of help the rest of us navigate. This fire horse is some serious, some serious energy.
yes. Yes, I feel it too, Melanie. And you're reminding me that I have to go home next weekend and I'm going to do that crash at the airport too. Ugh. Remember to
I
stay
hope no.
confident.
Your crash. I need your crash at the airport to be a gentle one.
Yes,
We
I
were we
agree. A
were
fun
we
one.
were we were fine until we hit customs. Then the unfun started. So it is a reminder. You're really good when you're off, when you're on your way to baggage claim, just, you know, time for, as you would say, some stage steps and some laughter, but you enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I appreciate that, Melanie, and we will talk soon. Marion, did you want to share something?
I think you were frozen for a minute.
Did I cut
Um,
Billy?
just want to share that I think this really hits home because there are a lot of things happening in my world. I'm echoing. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
A little bit, but it's okay. We
But
can understand you.
um, so I feel like I'm finding my tribe this year, new friendships, new relationships, and I do have a lot of opportunities, and I kind of have to hone in and figure out where I want to focus my energy and my heart. So,
Good. Yes. So this month is your invitation to find what's aligned in that deeper space for you. Beautiful. I love it.
mhm.
I think that's everybody because Aya shared with us in the chat that she is feeling into that sustainability for June and the heart. Yeah, I love when we come back to the heart energy. Cancer definitely does that for us and really puts us in a beautiful positioning. Of course, the zodiac has that perfectly aligned with Leo following after, which is really the sign of the heart, even maybe even more so than Cancer, but good preparation for it. So I'm going to turn off record. And like I say, I will stay on if anybody has questions